Dogecoin has got a nice little correction in the past couple days, but I'm kind of curious if we're finding support and we're going to start heading back to the upside. There's a couple different things that I want to talk about in this video. First of all, we had this little bear flag right here, and I was targeting from the top to the bottom of the pole. I said if we break to the downside, we're going to be targeting around 13798, or where I had my limit order set around the Fibonacci retracement level, the 61%, at 14 cents. We came down, filled that limit order right at that area. Actually, we went a lot lower, but right at that area the bodies were there, and we came back to the upside, and we're hitting that Fibonacci retracement level, which is sitting the 50% sitting at 15646. As if you've been watching my videos, then you know I like playing off these levels, and I also like watching the trends. So we had support, we had a uptrend going to the upside like this. We actually came up to that Fibonacci retracement level, and then we broke that trend going to the downside. Technically, we started going down. But if you look at the resistance, let's go ahead and jump into the 5-minute time frame. And that's another thing. I've been watching the smaller time frames on this chart because it's moving so quickly. So we have resistance. Let's go ahead and draw that trend line. Let's go ahead and draw a downtrend because technically we were trending down. We broke that trend going to the upside right here. Now we can watch the supports though. Let's watch these supports, and it looks like it's breaking it right now. I was kind of curious. It kind of looked like we were setting up to, this trend before I started the video, it was looking pretty nice. We had a nice little breakout, and it was on this uptrend, and I was going to say until we break it going to the downside, then we're technically on an uptrend. What I think we probably can do is drag this trend line that we have right here. Maybe, I don't know, we'd have to kind of look for another spot because we're moving it around. We have resistance right here. We have resistance right here, and it looks like we got resistance right there. So the one other thing that I was thinking could possibly be forming is, it was in a different spot, but this kind of looks like maybe a head and shoulders if we did something like that and then broke out to the upside, or inverse head and shoulders. As long as we don't come all the way down here, or if we kind of bounce somewhere in here and then get a breakout right here, that'd be technically an inverse head and shoulders. Basically, it's basically going sideways in very short, like it's not moving a lot right now. It kind of is, but this move from down here going up, this was a pretty nice little move actually. It was from 14 cents to around here where it started to break was 9.6%. And then, like I said in my last video, I closed half my position right here and then set up a Fibonacci, or a limit order. I guess I'm just trying to track the trend. It was trending down. It looked like it was breaking here a minute ago. Let me go back to the 1 hour time frame. This might give us a better idea as well. The other thing I wanted to talk about was the moving averages, because those are kind of following the trends pretty much. Because let's see, we broke so the 9 moving average is right here, this line like this. We basically were testing it, going in and out of it right here. We broke to the downside decisively. We came back up, resistance, came into it, resistance, came down, came back into it, resistance, getting pushed down. We finally broke through it. We were testing it. We were breaking through it, but we were just wicking through it. We weren't closing the candle above it and then getting the next candle, the confirmation candle. So we pretty much did that here. We closed that candle, and then we got a confirmation candle, and now we were using it as support. Now it broke right through it. So we're looking at it on the hour time frame. So this is happening in and out, it's going in and out. It's happening fast. These trends are happening fast. So, like I said, the next thing is we have this downtrend. We're breaking it right now. Let's see if we can continue to break this going to the upside. Break this 9 moving average. Go through it, close on it, and start getting to the upside. The other thing I wanted to show you when it comes to moving averages is the 4 hour time frame. Let's step it up to the next time frame, the bigger time frame. It looks like right now we are testing this 9 moving average, which is sitting right here. just like that. Okay, so we broke the 4-hour 9 moving average right here. Big jump down, came back into it, got rejected, and now we're testing it. I'm very curious if we can break through this 4-hour 9 moving average. I think if we do, then we could start targeting the next Fibonacci retracement levels. The next one would be at 0.17366, which is pretty much this resistance here. It's possible that we could break through it, get rejected, come back down, come back down here. I like playing off these Fibonacci retracement levels, and the way I got that, let's say you haven't watched my channel at all, or you're not familiar with trading, is we had a nice uptrend. Let me go ahead and draw this trend line right here because for whatever reason it got erased. Okay, so we had support right here and we had support right here giving me an uptrend. We actually broke it right here, but what we could do in an uptrend, when we get a correction, or when we think we hit the top, we could drag from the bottom to the top with the Fibonacci retracement tool, and it gives me levels to watch. And usually I like watching them because they bounce in between them and we can use them as points to buy and to sell or whatever. I mean, you could buy it right here and then sell it right here, and it usually, I mean, they're pretty good levels to watch. And if you've been following my videos, you can kind of see that they've been kind of working out. So the next thing is, are we going to break through this 4-hour 9 moving average? If we can do that, then we can at least do a conservative target right here at that Fibonacci retracement level, sitting at 0.17375, something like that. And you could also see this 180 moving average. I don't talk a lot about the 180 moving average, but it's also on my chart, and that lines up around that area as well. It looks a little bit higher around 0.17860 as opposed to that Fibonacci level at 0.17402, or approximately. Look at it on TradingView. That's where I'm looking at on these charts, tradingview.com. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm wondering if we actually got a bounce and we're going to head to the upside. It's still possible. We're in a few downtrends, so let's go ahead and draw those out as well. Let's go ahead and delete this. Let's go ahead and delete this. I probably deleted this just to clean things up. Okay, and that was the bigger that bigger support line that we actually broke. So we could be looking at something like this, where we had resistance. I think I talked about this in my last video, actually, is resistance. This is kind of one of the resistance trend lines that I was watching, and we're basically breaking through that, going sideways. We haven't really broke through it, but that's another reason why I'm wondering, did we find support and are we bouncing to the upside, or are we just forming another bear flag, a little mini bear flag, something like that, where we can drag from the top to the bottom of this and then drag that to the breakout if we go to the downside, which kind of lines up with this previous bottom over here sitting at around 0.12592. So there's, I mean, it's not, the trend lines aren't 100% guaranteed, but it gives you a first little signal that it's not just bouncing on the trend going to the downside still. We kind of are breaking through it and going sideways at least, but this could be a continuation where we got a big break to the downside and then now it's just consolidating and now we're waiting to break to the downside. But I showed you those other things where we're testing this 4 moving average. We came up to it right here. I'm guessing that we're going to continue to test this area until we actually do break one way or to the other. I mean, we could break to the downside and start looking at these targets. Like I was saying, the next one, I don't have any clear targets on that, but like I said, I'm probably just going to be watching the Fibonacci retracement levels. My next limit order, like I was saying, is 0.14 again. If we continue to go to the downside. I mean, in general, like I said, I closed half my position up here. So if it goes up, then there's a good little position, or if it goes down, then we get more Dogecoin. That's just what I'm doing, though. Yeah. Another thing that I wanted to talk about real quick, and I mentioned it in one of my videos yesterday, is the Dogecoin to Bitcoin chart. And I know I was kind of all over the place in that video, but what I was talking about is that Dogecoin to Bitcoin chart, you want to watch this. If this chart is going down, then that's good for Bitcoin. And if this chart is going up, then that's good for Dogecoin. Okay, and so we were trending down, and I was watching this resistance and this resistance. Same thing as on the last chart. We had a downtrend, and it looks like we broke that trend going to the upside. Not hardcore up, like we already kind of, like let's say we had support. We already kind of broke this going sideways, basically. So we're basically going sideways right here. I'm curious though. I think that might have been a good sign that we actually came down to this bottom support, which I was also watching because we had support right here and support right here. If we look at it on the 4-hour or the daily time frame, those candles probably line up better with that line right there. The wick does, and then the body does. Or yeah, we have a wick. It wicks down right here, and then the bodies are right here, and then here's that support. So we came down, hit that support, and then let's go back to this level. We came down, got a bounce on it. Like I was saying, if this chart's going up, then that's good for Dogecoin. And another thing that I was talking about on my other video when we watched this chart is that we're really watching this chart for a break in the trend. If it breaks the trend, then it's better to be in Dogecoin, and Dogecoin has a better chance of getting a big run. Right now, if we zoom out a little bit more, let's go ahead and zoom out on the bigger picture. We have resistance right here, giving me this bigger downtrend like this. If we could break this one going to the upside, then I think that is going to be a much better signal than where we're at right now. Right now, we could possibly be going, we could be bouncing in and out of this triangle. So until we break this one, then I think that's going to be the better signal than like these smaller ones. But this still might be good. I mean, it could be good in the short term. We could get a little bounce right here, and it looks like we're also testing that 9 moving average right here. If we break up, then maybe we could potentially come up here, which kind of is mirroring what we were watching on the Dogecoin chart in general. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of show you that. And if we go back to Dogecoin, I'm very curious, like I was saying, if we can break through these 9 moving averages, especially on the 4-hour time frame. If we could break through that, then I'm looking at this next Fibonacci retracement level, or even possibly the top one sitting at .19516. But let's see what happens. I'll be keeping track of it. So if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. And if you like the video, hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.